You are what you watch. Hello, my name is Harrington Watco and welcome to our program. We've got a great show for you. I know in the last 2 days, the last 3 days, you've been seeing my face. I am not part of the joint session. What we did was GNN goes out of its way to bring to you no commentaries, no breaks, nothing, a live feed straight from what you hear and see in Congress. The only time I did go on was in the middle when they took those recesses. But as much as possible, we tried to get as many interviews. Now, you'll be seeing that the rest of tomorrow in the afternoon, maybe. I'm not sure, because I think we have some new programming coming on again. But definitely on Monday and Tuesday, when they do resume, we will be back on. And I guess you'll be seeing my face, right, sitting here in the studio to take care of the breaks when they go off on recess. Those are short periods of 10, sometimes 30 minutes. In this program, we've got a VIP celebrity. Yes, it is another candidate for the elections, this time for the vice presidential candidate. You all know him because he's a celebrity of sorts, but in the business world, in the financial system that we all have heard and seen, he has stood up for specific rights, put his hands in the air, and stayed the course. This time, he is with the group of Eddie Villanueva, Jesus is Lord, Bangon, Pilipinas. Ladies and gentlemen, Prefecto Jun Yasay. Thank you very much for being with us. Of course, we also have Gil Santos. I almost keep forgetting my co-host because dapat siya nag-introduce nito. Hi, Gil. Thanks a lot, Gil, for being here. No, because we were waiting for you to... you were with me last Monday. Yes, when we were together doing the commentary.
And Wednesday.
And Wednesday. So, Jun, congratulations. You're now in the race. I'm not sure if congratulations are in order because a lot of work is about to go on.
You bet, Harry. It's something that I could not yet fully grasp as to why I'm a candidate in this election and vice presidential candidate for that matter when I have no money and all I've got is what I can offer the people in terms of my experience, my qualifications, and what I feel is much needed for our country in addressing all of these pressing problems, foremost of which would be corruption, lawlessness, and peace and order, which I feel every leader of this nation must have, and that is the ability and the willingness to stand up for what is right, regardless of whether or not it is popular, regardless of whether or not it is safe, regardless of whether or not it's expedient. One must be able to stand up for what is right. And for one to be able to do that, he must have the moral strength and the moral courage.
Jun, you've always stood up for what you felt. You are known in the intelligence circles, in the professional circles, to not bend and go with the wind. You fought a lot of issues in the past, which is why your name has become somewhat a celebrity. That we know of. I think maybe at the very first part, at the beginning of this program, bakit Bangon Pilipinas? No? You're not Jesus is Lord. Why?
Well, to begin with, people had been asking me whether I'd be running for any public office these 2010 elections. I asked my wife about it, and she said no. I've lost two elections already, and I said we don't have the resource. Yep. But then they said, my friends told me, well, if we could get you into the political parties that would really enhance your ability to win, then maybe why don't you consider? On that note, I started considering just to run perhaps for senator. I was approached by people who thought that they had the ability to connect me with the Nationalist Party and run under Villar's party. But I was not too convinced running under the Nationalist Party. I also had friends who said, hey, join the Noy bandwagon, and they in fact endorsed me to the Liberal. I talked to some people. But then again, for one reason or another, I was not chosen. I guess Liberal Party has their own way of choosing who would be their candidates. I was also approached by even Gibo's party.
Even Gilbert's party, wow.
Yeah. And they told me to consider running.
So what's the primary consideration?
The primary consideration was I really prayed hard on this. With my background, my father being a pastor, my mother being a public school teacher, we were reared in a very religious environment, and we were taught not to depend on our own capabilities and make our own decisions that must be pleasing to God. And I prayed hard on this, and finally, well, actually, Brother Eddie Villanueva also said that invited me to join the Bangon Filipinas to be their senatorial candidate. Yeah, lead the slate for the Senate. But I said, no, I don't feel I'm called. But then again, I gave it a chance. I prayed hard. In fact, Harry had Gil had prayer warriors who prayed with me on this. Yeah. This is, it's not easy for one. It's not easy for one to decide aspiring or being in public office, whether it's appointive or elective. There are so many temptations. Really, it's surrounded by a lot of interest groups that if you do not have the moral strength, you will surely be defeated.
Let me ask you some hard questions.
Let me finish, Gil. No?
Okay.
So, when finally somebody said, one of our prayer warriors said, "Sir, in my visions, you're not going to run for the Senate. You are going to run for vice president."
Oh, I see.
And then I said, "How could that be?" I said, "Well, I do not know, sir. I do not even know what party you will be running, but I saw something yellow." "What is yellow?" "I saw a butterfly, in my vision, and I thought that maybe perhaps you'll be running under Noynoy." I said, "No, that's not possible." Yeah. And when I went to Bangon Filipinas headquarters to tell Brother Eddie I wasn't going to run for the Senate, he told me that I was chosen by the party to run for vice presidency. And that to me was the signal that I wanted. So here I am.
Oh, congratulations.
Good, very good, very good. Okay, now we have all this, we review what's happened.
Yeah.
We have had the calamities.
Yes.
We have had the recovery for the international economic meltdown. We have had all this peace and order problems in Mindanao. We are going to have 100 million population by 2013. If you were going to choose which area are you going to start working on to be able to be, because from 2010 up to 2016 is going to be that very critical period. And just, if you win, that's going to be your term. Which area are you going to pick first to clean, to bangon, ibangon, and do whatever it is that you want? Yeah.
Well, I'd probably look at and focus more on the economic and financial aspect of our development or underdevelopment, for that matter. And there's lots to talk about why we are, notwithstanding the fact that we've been addressing this kind of a problem for a long time, we're still, instead of moving forward, we're falling backwards. And that's an expertise that I'd like to contribute. I know that when I was chairman of the SEC, I ventured on reforms that would really strengthen our capital market, invite foreign investors to come in, whether directly or indirectly through the stock market. But the most important thing for you to do that is to ensure that you have stability, you're able to eliminate corruption, and credibility of our leaders. Because I was approached when I was chairman of the SEC.
Difficult job, huh?
Difficult job by big businesses. And they told me, "Hey, Jun, your government has lost it. When Cory Aquino came into as president, we thought that it was going to be something very optimistic, for the Philippines. But you've lost it.
But it was.
Yeah. And so I said, why did we lose it? You see, Verizon is a big company, and these were the executives of Verizon, for instance. They wanted to really put their hub of operations in the Philippines, and they told me, now we've decided to move to Korea. Why? Because of corruption. Before we could even go first base in the Philippines, they were asking us for tremendous sums of money.
Well, let me go back to the time that you were in the harness. Just before you got into out of the stable into the harness, there was a problem of energy. Cory was known without. I don't want to bash Cory because it's something that